in the last 2 years, approximately what range of package the company is actually giving. Having counter offers increases your chance for your increase in the salary during the negotiation period. Now, one thing that is very important is that if let's say you are already inclined towards a company, do not just jump to another company and use this higher offer with some other company. If you don't like a particular offer, have a walkaway point. Now, there are a few key pointers that you need to keep in mind while doing the compensation calculation. Hello, everyone. I'm Sanket Singh and welcome back to my channel. So guys, recently I posted a bunch of videos where I talked about my interview experiences at different companies, including Microsoft, Atlassian, Flipkart, and whatnot. There were a lot of comments from a lot of people that how exactly I was negotiating the overall compensation that each of these companies were actually offering. How exactly we should try to negotiate the offers and try to make sure that we are not getting lesser than the overall industry standard and try to make sure that our offer is as good as possible. So this video is going to focus on that. In this particular video, we're going to talk about how you should try to negotiate your salary. What are the things that I keep in mind while actually negotiating a salary? What are the different factors that can actually affect your overall incoming compensation? So without any further delay, let's just start and let's start our discussion on how you can negotiate your salary well. Before moving forward in the video, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, I would highly request you guys to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so that you never miss a notification whenever we are going to put a new video on the channel. So without any further delay, let's just start. Now, before we start our discussion on how you should negotiate your salary, there is an important part that I want to throw some light on. A lot of time people think that whatever salary that the company is giving them, that's the only offer that they can get. A lot of time people are scared that if they will ask for a higher compensation, then maybe the offer will get revoked or they will not be getting a chance, so on and so forth. Now, I would like to bust a myth here. Always make sure that you know the relevant numbers. We are going to talk about how you can know the relevant numbers that the company can offer. And if your salary figure is not close to that, then you should definitely try to make some counter offers, try to negotiate your salary, because later you will be regretting the fact that, okay, if I would have negotiated, other people, other new joiners also negotiated and they got a very good compensation. If I would have also negotiated, I would have also got a better compensation that I'm currently getting. So to make sure that you are not in that regret phase, always make sure that your numbers are correct. And if you know those numbers and your salary is lesser than the number, always make sure that you negotiate your corresponding salary. Now, before you actually think about whether you should negotiate, how you should negotiate, so on and so forth, you need to have numbers in your head that, let's say, in the last 2 years, approximately what range of package the company is actually giving. Most of the time in companies, there are different actual components of your overall compensation. There is a corresponding base salary, that's the main cash component. There is maybe some joining bonus, there is some performance bonus, there is some relocation bonus. Then there can be stock options, which can be RSUs, listed RSUs, or ESOPs. There can be different components altogether. First of all, you need to keep in mind that for each individual component, not the total CTC, for each individual component, what's the approximate range that the company is ready to offer for most of the candidates. How will you get this information? There are a lot of websites where you can get this information. For example, in the lead code discuss section, you can just search for example, Amazon SD1 salary lead code. You will get tons and tons of lead code discuss section articles where people have listed their offers, listed their base salary, stock options, bonus, each and everything in very detailed fashion. Apart from that, you can check Glassdoor to get an overall average figure for the corresponding position in your country, what the company is offering. You can also check out levels.fyi to make sure you have an idea around the approximate range of compensation figures that the company is giving. And why this activity is important? This activity is important because you need to, first of all, know what is the overall general budget of the company for your role that you are applying to. And then only your negotiation will be as effective as possible. Now, once you understand that yes, your salary need to be negotiated, you need to have a higher compensation based on the overall average figure that the people are getting, then you should start your negotiation based on some of the key aspects. What are these key aspects? You should not just go straight forward and say that, okay, I saw the general trend and this is this is way lesser than the general trend of the compensation for my position, so on and so forth. You should have counter arguments. What can be these counter arguments? First, you can have a counter offer. For example, let's say you are applying for Amazon and you got selected in Amazon, but along with Amazon, you got one more offer from Uber, because when you actually start appearing for interviews, you do not know which company you will get selected to. Maybe some of the rounds go sideways and you are rejected. So you always, generally what happens is people give multiple interviews at the same point of time, and generally the result come, let's say 1 week or 1 week earlier, 1 week later, so on and so forth. So let's say you got an offer from Amazon, and now you also got a selection at Uber, and you know the compensation figures at Uber as well. But you are more inclined towards joining Amazon because maybe the team that is there is more, I would say, exciting. You want to work on the tech stack. So what you can do, you can use your counter offer. You can use this offer of Uber, and you can say that, okay, I have some counter offers as well. They are actually giving me the actual general range of this corresponding position. If possible, if we can also increase some part of the base component, some part of the stock component, that should be good. Having counter offers increases your chance for your increase in the salary during the negotiation period, because in case you have counter offers, there is a highly likely chance that if the X company will not give you a good salary, you will not join them and instead join the overall counter offer. This is the first point that you have to keep in mind. Second point, always mention what do you bring onto the plate. It's not just about that you just gave an interview and you're expecting a very high package. You always need to sell yourself. You need to make sure that you tell the people that what extra thing that you bring onto the team based on your experience, what kind of work you have done, why you deserve to have a higher range of salary. These kind of counter arguments that actually shows your skills makes the overall argument more solid and tells the HR that, okay, this guy or this girl needs to have a revised compensation, because this might not be the best compensation that they will get based on their skill set. This is something that is very important. The third key important aspect is that you can now look at the overall CTC. For example, let's say the overall CTC is 50 lakh rupees in Indian rupees, right? Now, some part of that CTC is, let's say, base component, some is stock component, so on and so forth. Now, based on your priority, you can maybe try to increase the stock component and maybe get a hit on the base component as well. Because a lot of time people want more stock options, or maybe sometimes people want more cash options, so on and so forth. So some companies are there who are ready to make sure that they offer you more stocks and offer you slightly lesser base pay. Or maybe there is, if let's say, you can see this on the history of the trends, right? If people have actually mentioned in these lead code articles, Glassdoor articles, that yes, this company maybe will increase your base pay by reducing your stock component, you can try to balance it out. What is required by you, you need to specifically tell that I need a higher base component, or you need a higher stock component, or you need a higher bonus component. This is what you have to actually tell. Because based on different components, the taxation also differ, right? So you have to do your own math, you have to see your own requirement and then put that forward. That is going to be something that is really important while negotiating. So always make sure that you know the right balance. If the company can give you higher number of stocks by maybe hitting, let's say, 50,000 or 1 lakh on the base pay, and if that works for you, go for it. Do your math, do your homework. That is going to be extremely important during your negotiations. Now, one thing that is very important is that if, let's say, you are already inclined towards a company that you are going to join it, and you are negotiating well and you got the required amount of figure that you were expecting, always make sure you are slightly more ethical on that part, and do not just jump to another company and use this higher offer with some other company. A lot of time what people do is they get an offer from a company A, they use the offer from company B to negotiate on A. They get a higher comp on A, then they use this offer of the higher comp of A to negotiate to some other company C. I believe this should not be the case, because if you are inclined, then only you should try to negotiate as much as possible to company A, because you are spending your own time as well. You're spending the company time as well, right? In case you are already not inclined to join company A, you got the offer, but you know that you might be declining the offer, no problem. Just don't spend too much time on negotiating, because then you will be using this offer to negotiate other. Because maybe you got, let's say, 10% increment on the initial offer. It's not going to affect a lot of things in your counter offers that you are going to present, right? But it will spend a lot of time of yours. It will spend a lot of time of the company. That doesn't look that good. If you don't like a particular offer, have a walkaway point. Just tell them that this particular salary is below my expectation. Based on my finance, this cannot go with me, and I'm not going to accept the offer. That's totally okay. Giving all of the rounds and rejecting the offer is absolutely okay. Companies also do this, right? If, let's say, they roll out the offer, a lot of time company revoke the offer or delay the joining process, because it's all about finance. You have to look at your own finance. If the offer is not good for you, you can absolutely straightforward say no. But don't do the activity that you are negotiating salary from one company to the other company, then you got a higher comp on one company, then you are using this to the third company, and you keep on doing this chain. This doesn't look good, and in the longer run, this might affect your overall profile as well, because you might have to reappear for an interview in those companies. This is not going to look absolutely well on your profile. Now, there are a few key pointers that you need to keep in mind while doing the compensation calculation. Sometimes what company do is they actually try to do a retention bonus. Retention bonus is like, if let's say you are 2 years in the company, then you will get that bonus, right? Try to do the math there. Are you going to be there for 2 more years? Because 2 years is the lock-in period. And then let's say if you will be getting a better offer, then this bonus will be lost. Do all of those calculation and then only try to accept offer having some retention bonus, because maybe you can ask that instead of retention bonus, you can give an annual bonus for the first year and second year half off. You don't want to wait for complete 2 years and at the end you get the retention bonus, because the value that is promised today, let's say in 2024, after 2 years already that value is depreciated because of inflation and everything. So the earlier that you get the comp is better. Apart from that, when you have stock options, see what is the vesting schedule of that stock option. If the vesting schedule of stock option is not good, then it's kind of like a restrictive reservation for you, because you have to spend a lot of time in the company to actually get a big chunk of your stock options, right? That's generally not recommended. A general trend that you will see is that most of the companies will be having 25% stock vesting cycle every year. That is generally good. If you have higher than that, maybe some companies also do a front loaded stock vesting, maybe 33% first year, 33% second year, and then it reduces third and fourth year. That's even better, right? But try to make sure that your vesting cycle is actually aligning with the overall finance and the math that you have done. Please don't go with the fact that, okay, you are going to stay somewhere for 4 years and at the end of 4 years, you are going to get the actual chunk of the stocks. That's not going to help you in the longer run. That's my own opinion. That's my own suggestion. And that's it for this video, guys. I hope you guys got all the points and all the relevant metrics that you need to keep in mind while negotiating your salary. These are all the things that I do myself whenever I am expecting some kind of an offer from a company and try to negotiate all of those offers. Always make sure negotiation on your salary is going to help you in the longer run, because it will make sure that you have no regrets after joining the company. So always negotiate your offer. That being said, let's wrap this particular video here. And if you have any questions, please drop those questions in the comment section below. We'll be happy to answer them. Till then, take care, guys. Bye-bye. Have a really lovely week ahead. I'm Sanket Singh, signing off.